Hi guys, welcome to this video. This is ArcoLinux B Plasma I'm working on, and we're going to make the video how to stay rolling. If you're totally new to ArcoLinux, every time we release ISOs, which are 24 ISOs, we make a how to stay rolling, so you don't need to reinstall anything, and it's valuable videos because things that happen right to your operating system are explained. But there is also later on a video what's new. So in the last 2 months, what did we change, what did we improve and stuff like that. So 2 videos, and those 2 videos go into a release article which is going to go on arcolinux.info, info for information. Now before we do any of that, I need to get the old ISO in. So ArcoLinux info, we go to the downloads. Remember guys, these 2 first ones are free, so download here. And I'm gonna go for Belnet this time for ArcoLinux, right? And then the 21018 is what you normally would have installed, or the one, where is he? Yeah, the one of 2103.1. So I've taken the oldest one. And the only difference between this guy and that guy, you can compare it with this package list and that package list, is the XF86 video Intel being there or not being there. So none of these things. Let's have a look. XF86 video. You see only the Intel is not there, and that's the only difference. And at the release of next, well, within 3 days, none of these guys are available. So we've learned that we do not need to put it on there. And the idea is to put it on Calamares. So if you do need it, you just click on the button and then you download the Nouveau or the Vesa or etc. So that's the only difference between these 2 guys, and next one, no XF86 videos drivers. Okay. It's I hope it's downloaded. I just closed my browser. Downloads. Let's clean up a little bit. Copy paste. OSB, ArcoLinux D can go, B can go. This is the older one, and I had it already. Oh my god! Right. Okay. So this is the ISO we got from Belnet. Then let's include a video again about VirtualBox. There's so many videos about it. But let's do something else. So clone. I'm gonna take the old ArcoLinux. Voila. Clone. That's an easy way. All the settings have been saved. Clone away, and then you can change the settings anyway. Like for instance, set it to an EFI, UEFI, special OSs only, and the rest I can show you. 8 CPUs, 4 to the system, 4 guest and host, right? And the display all the way up, I've put it now. VBox SVGA is good. VBox VGA is good. VMware is not good. Right? So keep those settings, and then we'll be able to boot up with a UEFI, which means the black screen doesn't have a nice logo at all, but you're faking it to be a new motherboard. So basically what most of us, I hope, have, right? So when we start this system, I am gonna pause the video, of course. Let's maybe load up an optical drive. Might be a good idea to load up the ISO. Yep. Start up. And we double click. Now there is already something to explain. Control F for a full screen. So this is not nice, not themed. Then you are in UEFI. If there's a nice little logo here up here, you're in an older boot system, which is BIOS. So the line next to it, I think, is new. I haven't seen that in UEFI, so I'm just showing you in a video that here as well you have a save graphics, and you know the drill. If you type an E, you can change anything behind it. If you go for, I have to look at my keyboard. There's a button called End. Boom, I am now at the end. I can start typing extra code and then launch it like that. So it's always a good way if there is something special about your machine, and that you know in any Linux distribution, because I teach Linux, I do not teach ArcoLinux or ArchLinux. This applies to all of it, right? And you can boot up, but normally 99% of the people just take the first line. But if you can't, remember there's the second line. All right, off we go. The more knowledge available in the world, the better. And all for free, I might add. Now, VirtualBox is what it is. It has its pranks, it has its updates, and sometimes it breaks, and then you install the ISO on real metal, and then you say, everything is working. So it was a VirtualBox issue. Days have been gone by like that, that you decide, I'll install it on real metal, and then you know, oh my God, I've wasted 3 days because of VirtualBox issues, right? So that happens. So basically my message is, guys, install it on real metal. But I understand you want to try it out first, and VirtualBox or VMware or other virtual machines are of course interesting. So what you see is what you get, right? Anything you see already here is and will be installed on the system. Anything you have here, you'll have in the later installation. You can update your Arch Linux mirrors. Ctrl-Alt-T. Eric, why are you teaching all this? We just want to update, when I install this. Anyway, and mirror list, right? So this is normally a great one, but who knows, maybe not. And then you can run this Arch Linux mirrors. The gparted, never used it in months, but you can take a look at your partitioning and your scheme and all kind of actions you can take up here. Let's install already, because this is the video how to stay rolling. I want to share too much knowledge. About 35, at the meantime we're 37. I'm not going to install anything of all these applications. They're great applications. So everything you click here is going to be extra. You can't remove anything. You'll get this anyway, but you can add more stuff to it. So that's why we say the flagship becomes a cruise ship. More. Belgium. Next. Erase disk, 4 options. Plus an encrypt system, so 8 options. Okay, next. And then we'll do a straight rolling video afterwards. Let's pause the video here. All right, it's finished, so let's restart. So we start off with an old ISO, and we just update basically and see what happens. We have playlists on YouTube, lots of them. I think, I don't care to guess, over 100 anyway. But playlists can go about ArcoLinux update, right? Videos about how to update. Last 3-4 years we've been updating our machines, and sometimes updating a machine like for 2 years. Or we jump for 6 months in update. So it is all possible. Whatever they say, it's just rubbish. Just follow the videos, and you'll see that yes, you can update the machine that has not been updated for a year, 6 months, a month, a week. No matter, no problem. Only it requires knowledge. That's what I always say, and patience maybe to stick around long enough so you get to know Arch Linux, how it works, and ArcoLinux. So updating is basically an alias. So do have a look at all our aliases. It is a sudo pacman -syyU. If you are on Arch Linux phase 5 in our learning plan, that's what you are typing. So we get a lot of stuff in, of course. So this is probably around the year change, right? Beginning of January. And then we are now mid-March, let's say. So this is what it costs to update. 1.3 gigabyte to update. So 2 months, let's say around 500 megabytes per month, more or less. So we do just that. We just update our systems, and you see there's a lot coming in from ArcoLinux. But then compare it to all the rest, then there is not much ArcoLinux stuff at all. And that's the point, right? We have the bulk of the packages are straight from ArcoLinux. There is no intervention, there's no extra repo, they're straight from ArcoLinux. Plus the necessities or the niceties, the tweaks, the fun stuff, the configurations, that's the ArcoLinux packages. I see already a very important one, the ArcoLinux keyring. Packages are signed with a kind of key, so they know that whoever signed it is the real thing. It's not fake, it's not tampered with, it's controlled, checked, and that's what a keyring is for. So similarly, we have also a keyring to show it comes from my PC. I have signed it, or my team has signed it. We have all keys, so we can all make packages. So the system, Pacman, or package manager, Pacman, right, is going to say, okay, everything good, let's install it. So there are very important things in here. There's GIMP, I saw, as well as in package. Probably gonna be some Linux kernels, right? And lots of updates, lots of kernels we get on ArcoLinux. Linux headers are here as well, and the Linux firmware. Then we have the three important packages about kernels. Okay. So basically, my mind already is saying, okay, reboot later on because you got a new kernel. Let's have a look. So he's downloading at good speed. What is my server? Where is it coming from? It's coming from Mirror Osbex, the first one. If you don't like what you see, if it's not fast enough, you put a hashtag in front of it and you save it. So Ctrl X and yes, and it's saved. I'm not gonna save it, so no, I'm gonna say. So my mirror list is good, it's fast, so I'm gonna keep it. All right, so we go down, go down, go down. And here we are, keys. Import PGP key, etc. from a certain Orhun Parmaxis. Okay, we say yes, of course, enter. And it's going to check the package integrity. There are a few checks now going on. So the keys in the keyring, that's one thing. Package integrity is the second thing. And once you get past that, then you can relax. Then you can breathe. Package files, check for file conflicts. Okay, it's good. So the 4 checks basically here. Checking keys, checking package integrity, loading package files, and checking for file conflicts. So when these 4 lines are done and our new wallpaper is there, then everything is cool. So now it's just installing and everything should be fine. Now he's going to make some kind of backups. So Pacman is not going to overwrite stuff on your computer. Instead, it's going to make a pack new. So if you want to watch what's the difference, you know what the drill is. You go to the place, to the where it is, and you do a selection of 2 of them, right mouse click, and you compare it with melt and see what the difference is. But frankly, I don't do it. I mean, it's all good. It's we personally take care of that, of course, but for the user, I wouldn't recommend it. And here we get the ArcoLinux keyrings in, appending some keys. So these guys are new guys, local signing in, and all these guys have been kicked out. Disabling key, disabling key, disabling key, etc. We have also new mirror list. So we just had a look at the N mirror list, but he will not overwrite it, right? So there's nothing changed. It's still the same mirror list, but he has created a file extra, pack new. Again, you can go and compare, but mirror list is actually something we create with aliases. Like this one, alias mirror. And this one is going to change something in etc pacman-d mirror list. So the one I just showed you. That's the same file. etc pacman-d mirror list. Okay. And then things will be installed to the etc. And etc is a folder, well actually etc scal is a folder where whatever you put in there is going to be on your future system when you do a ISO installation, a clean install from an ISO. Everything that a developer puts in the etc scal is going to be in home directory. So basically none of it is on your system as of yet, right? So this information is in the bin and you won't see it. It won't be used. The same applies for all the rest that says here etc scal. My reflex is I need to type scal later on, but beware of the power of scal. Then we go on. What else? Information here, files have been installed in etc scal. So something changed in our i3 configuration and it's now not on your system. It is in etc scal, it is on your system, but a protected part where it is not used. And then we're assigning our keys here. ArcoLinux GPG keys are coming in. Fine, that's cool. So now the system, Pacman, knows, oh, those guys on ArcoLinux can be trusted. And then again, etc scal, something about OpenBox, right? ArcoLinux root, something changed. Fine. We are using the chaotic mirror list and the chaotic keyring, so that's coming in our Ctrl-Alt-E tweak tool. We have the possibility to add more repos, and we have by default added chaotic keyring. If you want it, you can use it. If you don't want it, don't use it. Scal, variety, scal. Okay, so the hint is maybe better look at scal. So Bluetooth, something changed in their settings and they've put it in here. That's the new setting. So if you have Bluetooth problems, that might be a good idea to compare this one with that one. What changed? Is there something new? You should change inside main conf because this is used, this is not used, and that's the new one. And so it continues with these back new stuff. All right, let's scroll down. If there's anything I should see. Check. And then you are suddenly at the end of all these packages, these installations, and then you get the rest, the post-transaction hooks, and it's doing all kinds of things, making the boot full. This, if you stop your system at this particular moment in time, do try it. You can't start up again because you need to have the init RAM file system Linux folder. If you break something in here, that's not the time to shut it down. But normally, right, everything is okay. Just keep the power on. VM Linux here is being created and installed in the boot folder. Have a look what's in there. And then we have some ArcoLinux fixing icons and all that. We have some extra hooks to make things, to improve things. Hook to update grub automatically and all that. ArcoLinux specific config. So basically, I'm at the end. So the only one thing to do, well, that is indeed a scal would be a good approach. Let's first have a look at the Thunar. So at this point in time, my config is the old config, right? The old settings of after the installation of our system. So when I do a Control-C, Control-V, I have a copy, okay? Right mouse click. There's one thing in the dconf, is always the dconf, right? But it's the same. Okay, what if, you can keep open here. What if I do a scal? What happens? Go and have a look at the article about scal. It creates, it copy pastes. Wait a moment. Alias scal. It copy pastes your .config to config backup. Check, you did that. Plus, is going to get everything that's inside etc scal and put it in my home directory. So my home directory changed. And basically this one changed. Sorry. Well, yeah, I can compare these two, or I can compare these three, or I can compare these two. So either way, compare, and basically you'll see the differences. You'll see what we have changed. You can do this by hand, by folder, by file, right? But and one thing here, something changed in the all-in-one. We can have a look by comparing, and we see we have changed something about color, color 2. Here there is no color 2, so we've made it a little bit nicer. Color 2 it says here. So we've added color 2 here as well. So this is the new stuff to the left, and that's the old stuff. And that's of course what makes it interesting. What changed? But this is the video, right? How to stay rolling. But basically this is changed. And here as well, there is one app I have added, well, 2 apps. Gamma Ray and SDM config editor have been added to have a nice look as well. And so this is how little by little we change things, and we update variety desktop IC here and stuff like that. So that's comparing. What I need to do is rebooting. So let's go for a reboot, restart, or Super X. Now there's one thing we've done. Let's see if something has changed. We've done an update, right? Remember, that's the ArcoLinux stuff and the ArcoLinux stuff. This is the ArcoLinux stuff. We put them at the top. If it's not yet on the top, you go to etcpacman.conf and put the ArcoLinux repos at the top. As simple as that. I'll better show it for the few people who have not done that yet. So here we are, etcpacman.conf. The ArcoLinux repo stuff is before the ArcoLinux stuff, which means if there is something wrong with ArcoLinux packages, we put the ArcoLinux package on our repo and you'll get it before the people of ArcoLinux will get it. Okay, so that's the deal. That's why it's interesting to do that. So one thing more, that's the up all. Up all means also go and have a look at stuff from AOR, and Control C it is. I knew this would happen since I've updated my SSDs, right? And we have here a package, libmagic6, that you can just remove. Or can we not? That's the question. And the easy way of an easy response or solution is sudo pacman -r. If you can remove it, and Pacman says, yeah, no problem, remove it, meaning you don't get the messages, dependencies, 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 a long list of dependencies, then it's okay. Then you can just simply remove it. And away it is, and nothing will be broken, because the developers of a package put in what dependencies a package has. And this package has no dependence for any package. Basically, remove me. And you see what happened. It's actually not coming from ArcoLinux. They moved the package from ArcoLinux, kicked it out basically, and it is now AOR, and we don't need it. Not in our setup, not in my setup. Maybe you need it. You see the dependencies, well, then you just install it with AOR. You just let it up all, right? And then Yay will install it and build it and install it, right? Thinking about things to do. Normally, I don't think we'll have something. I have to think and see. But the last thing we do is go to binary, the .bin folder, and here we are have some fun stuff like the mouse face. Let's do the mouse face for fun, right? And the bonsai tree, last one, promise. Do it again, do it again, do it again. Always a new tree, plant a tree, right? But we have the stay rolling folder, and that's for this video. 2018, 19, 2020, oops, right? We need to have a 2021. But what should I put in here? There is nothing I should put in here. And if there is, or there will be, then we have a 2021. You'll have a, let's jump from 2101 to 03. And inside you will find folders, scripts, stay rolling version 1. Here we have changed our pacman.conf, maybe interesting to know, to have a look. This is what I just mentioned. Put this at the top. And that is exactly what this little script does. Improve pacman, conf and backup old. And that's what it is doing. You can have a look at the script here. And here's the stay rolling. But I really have to think very, very hard to see if we have to change anything, to add anything, because I can't come up with one yet. But if so, you'll see when you do a scal, it will be in here, the 2021. All right. This was the update video, and I hope you like ArcoLinux and learn a lot and have fun. Cheers.